Do you recognize the robe I'm wearing?
Yeah, you definitely wore that in front of some workers in Colombia. Let's put it that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Listen, I'm a Barber podcast. Got my man Mark here. We're going to kind of jump straight into things and kind of dive into the lifestyle me and this guy have had for probably the last 15 years.
Shit, has it been that long?
I feel like the degeneracy has been for, maybe the degeneracy wasn't 15 years.
Nah, it's been that long for the degeneracy and the friendship.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in recent years, we've calmed down, of course.
That's what I'm saying. I do have something for you, though, and I know you don't drink. I don't drink either. And, ladies and gentlemen, big accomplishments, too. Fresh crib. You know what I mean? Salute, brother, and congratulations on your new beginnings.
I appreciate that.
What'd you think of that?
Not as awful as I imagined, but still not good.
Hennessy White.
Yeah.
You don't think it's a little bit smoother?
Give me the regular Hennessy.
Really?
For sure.
No.
What is sweet?
All right, look, I'll put it to this way. I had the bottle, and I can't get it from around here, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But yeah, I kind of agree. The action is not the same way we took it when we were younger. Used to drink it like water.
Dude, I remember the first time that I got fucked up off of a hard alcohol. Green apple Smirnoff. When I was 15 years old in the woods.
Really?
Couldn't touch it ever. Can't even smell it. Can't even sniff green apple the same way.
Really? Did you ever do the 99 bananas or the 99s?
Of course, yeah. Lots of bad nights, yep.
You ever do like the Jockwin's plastic bottle? It's like a liter of just vodka in a plastic.
I don't know if I did that one, but I did Peachka. That nasty shit.
Hold on.
Having to have adults buy it for us from Cherrywood.
Peachka was good.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed Peachka. I had a small phase where I felt like I was a hood thug and I was drinking MD 2020 for a while with E&J. It tasted like shit. I think it was just a trendy thing, but I fucking hated it.
Kind of like when we do Hypnotic. That tasted like shit. Anybody who told you that was good?
I was a fan of sipping Incredible Hulks. They were nice. Come on, it came in a nice little blue color.
It's nasty.
I thought it was kind of nice. But I wanted to talk to you about recent fantasy football things that happened this year, and you didn't make it. I'm sorry.
Come on.
You fought hard, and I saw the comeback each week. You telling me that you were bound for the chip.
Well,
now, for anybody listening, I gotta say I made 2 chips this year. I gotta cut that in there for a quick second.
Well, just a little disclaimer: I was the defending champion. Okay, I had one of the greatest come from behind seasons last year when I won it all.
I agree with that.
Epic run. I was the highest scoring champion in the history of my league. Stamp that for all of the Crown Ain't Safe listeners who are listening right now. I'm still the GOAT. I'm the highest scorer ever. Just want to put that in concrete and on the record that I am the best.
I don't know. The viewers probably can't smell the shit I hear right now.
Hey man, my league is very difficult to win.
I agree. I never won your league.
And yep, very difficult to win, but we got it done.
I did get my ass kicked in your league multiple years. I've been grinched. I've been swooped. I've been swaddled. Every different definition that's been thrown around in that group chat. Grinched for the most part. By you.
Sure.
By you multiple times.
Now you just make these impulse fucking decisions, man. You trade away all good pieces because it's like you're a gambler. I feel like
I am a gambler.
So you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take this shot, and then you piss everybody off. Like, it's fucking insane.
But doesn't it just fucking stir it up? It gets everybody fucking fired up.
Of course. But then you got people with money on the line and they're pissed. But hey, it happens. I've seen some shit happen this year that rivals your fuckery.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Derek did some fuckery shit.
What'd he do?
He traded away too much, and then Sean got on him, and it was really...
Do you remember the trade?
I don't remember the trade. So much happens in the season that I can't remember all these things.
I can't go back to mine and really pinpoint certain things I did. This year I didn't really trade.
Yeah, I mean, you take a page out of Seamus's book. He didn't trade once.
Seamus?
He barely makes any transactions, and he does well every year. So shout out Seamus.
Yeah, he's made into the championship twice and won one of them.
Yeah.
Seamus actually came in, I think, and I love you, Shame. I really do, bro. He came in, I think, last. But I can't talk shit.
In your league.
Yeah, but the only reason I could talk a little bit of shit is I was right before him, in just before last. But I won 2 chips, so I feel like the balance is there.
I just got no comment on that.
You have no comment. Like 2 out of 3, it's not. That's not sexy to you.
In my head, the chips only matter in my league.
Yeah, I feel
everything else. It's not reality to me.
You know what? I get it from your perspective. I see that.
I wasn't competing in it.
You know what?
Really,
I want to get a little cocky for a second, though. We've had some trips to the championships, and I think anybody that knows any history that we've had plenty of other trips, other places.
Right.
And I remember thinking, "Oh, yo, Mark's coming on a pod today." I'm like, I just wanted to like rethink about our friendship over the years we've had, and I'm like, aside from like
shit.
Yeah, but I think that we had the bars, we had the clubs. I feel like certain people, and maybe a good amount of people, go to the bars and clubs.
Yep.
But I feel like we got very blessed, and we got to go on. You know, we got to go on really, really exclusive trips. You know, I mean, I ran through the list. We went to Vegas, went to Miami. I think we might have did Florida twice. I don't remember.
Yeah, we did. Went to Orlando for the Olympia.
That's right, Atlanta for Olympia to see Nick. I remember that.
Shout out Nick.
Yeah, number 3.
Goat. Nah, soon to be GOAT.
He's got to be number 1.
Yeah.
So where else? Then we had Amsterdam, Colombia.
Yep.
Am I missing something here?
I mean, we've done OCMD.
Oh, it's the city. Yeah, the Seekers is the same trip.
Yeah, but we've seen some shit. We've been to some places. But if I had to pick a favorite,
yeah, where's that at?
Come on, man, Colombia, easily.
Colombia's your favorite.
Yeah, of our trips for sure, because we talk about it every time we're together. That's how fucking fire that trip was. So much shit happened. It actually is the trip that sparked my love for travel.
Really? That was the trip?
It really was.
Do you recognize the robe I'm wearing?
Yeah, you definitely wore that in front of some workers in Colombia, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't El Jefe. You know how hot it was down there. I still wanted
a breeze.
Yeah, I wanted to be comfortable.
Right, of course, and easy access, right?
Not so much the access. I just feel like the silk, it was very light on my skin. Right. It was hot down there. The weather, I mean, there was a lot of hot things down there, but the weather particularly really stuck out.
Well, you know, speaking of hot things, how about your lawyer? Let's talk about that.
I thought that was an interesting experience. She told me a side of the law that I didn't understand.
Because you didn't speak their language.
No, I think the whole...
Jay would do this thing where he would try to speak Spanish, but it would just be like he'd enunciate English, but with a really bad, offensive Spanish accent. And he thought he was on fire. Like, you really thought you were speaking the language. And you were so confident with it, I don't think any of the girls really called you out about it.
No. But
insane.
But by the 5th day, I did have a very good, like, kindergartner... I mean, I feel like we all did. We all had, like, a mild kindergarten...
we knew C and yes and K.
Yeah.
That's about the extent of our...
Is there anything else we need to talk about? Hello?
Guess not.
This, that, interesting?
Yeah.
Now, you know what was funny, though? That whole Colombia trip, I loved it. It showed me a whole nother side of the way things work. And you know what fucked me up, dude? Really bad. Like, really, really bad. When we got down there, I remember somebody in the house that we stayed at made a phone call.
Oh, God.
And I remember just the door opening up, and I'll be honest, I was kind of shocked. I'm like, I've never seen 5 beautiful women in a circle just so casually. And I'm like, can I help you? And then somebody made a call. I'm like, I didn't make a call, but hold on. And then they come in, and I mean, do you remember that?
I do remember, and I remember one thing. I remember being blown away at how this one girl looked. But she walked right up to you and straight up groped you, molested you. Like, I was like, what the fuck? She just skipped on everybody and went straight to Jay.
I want to know why. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
I wasn't wearing the robe.
You weren't wearing the robe, but I don't know.
I think it was the fedora.
She probably thought because of the stature that you were packing down there for sure.
Could be.
I think that's what it was.
I mean, when she went...
Giving you your inches elsewhere is probably what she thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When she grabbed it, I was... You know what? You know when you want to, like, sometime as a man every now and then be like, yeah, she wants it. It's like, wow, that was really aggressive. Like, that was so aggressive that I was like, that's uncomfortable.
I didn't see you off put by that at all. You were all for it, so...
Inside...
lying.
No, inside I was like, Okay, I've never had that happen that like aggressively before. That was deep.
Welcome to Colombia.
I know, and that was what, the first 15 minutes?
First little taste of that culture and how their love language is a little different.
Yeah, I think that's what was kind of interesting, especially with all the places that we've been to so far. The international trips actually really, they kind of messed me up a little bit. Like the way the women kind of perceive themselves in this country as opposed to other countries. It's like, I'm not going to get into a debate on who's better or worse, but there are massive differences.
It's a different culture. They're way more comfortable with being expressive and showing physical intimacy and all those things. And it's different. It's just different than other cultures, especially America. It's more, people are more conservative or prude, I guess you would say. Whereas South America, they're all about showing their love, and that's just what they want to do.
I've never in my life felt like there was that much love ever shown. I'm like, wow.
I enjoyed the fuck out of that trip.
I did. I do remember there was one point in the trip where I remember one of the people that was on the trip was like, yo, I'm taking ecstasy. And I said, have fun. I really want you to have a great time. And he was like, yo, I've never done it before. And I'm like, well, then you don't have to do it, bro. And he's like, yeah, but like, will you do it with me?
And you said, fuck yeah, of course.
No, I didn't. I was like, nah, dude, I don't really want to mess with that. You know, Colombia is known for certain things. And I was completely fine with that.
Right.
But I remember he told me, he's like, will you share this moment with me? And I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. I said, I'll split it with you. And he was like, all right, deal. I ate the other half thinking, you know, he was going to go in with me. And he was like, yeah, I'm not taking it. I'm like, oh, you could.
You already went down that road.
Yeah.
No turning back.
Oh, dude, I was laying on the fucking, that one area in the back of the grotto where they had like the stone thing. I remember just like rubbing my leg like across the stone. I'm like, I don't know why. I feel like I was massaging myself. I'm like, oh, this is really fucking great.
It sounds like you're next.
Oh, yeah.
We can't talk about Colombia without shouting out Steve, of course. No.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was Steve himself, man. Rest in peace.
Our good friend Steve, man. That you know, he was a character. He was gentle soul, taken from us way too soon. We miss him. But yeah, man, I think about that dude all the time. All the time. Had a great time with him. Really got to really know each other on another level during that trip. Had such a blast. So that being kind of one of the last times we got to really hang out with him is, you know, it hits.
You knew Steve before I got there. I met him there and you were like, yo, this dude's cool. And I'm like, I mean, if you're not in the circle, I'm like, all right, Marky vouch for him. Like, okay. I genuinely have like a different love for that man after that trip. Like he did express like the type of person he was. And I'm like, wow, man, like I could see you being a friend for life. Like just, and you know, I don't know him from a can of paint, but how he was, I was like, yo, if this is who you are. And with the stage that we were in down there, it's like everybody got to really just be themselves, you know, like, and
we made it a point to not record. We took no pictures.
Yeah.
We posted no Instagram stories. We just have fun without like having to worry about phones or showing off or anything. And it was a blast. We had a lot of fun.
I think the moments were actually so unique.
It's hard to like explain them to people. They don't understand.
Yeah.
It's tough. But yeah, that was a great trip.
I try to like give people like the most like raw version of it, but like still trying to sound cool, but not needing to, because it really was the way it was. But it's like, you ever look at a Jay-Z video, like when he did Big Pimpin' on the Yacht? It's kind of like, yo, if you really, really want to think about it, there's about 35 women in the house. And it's like, how did you guys get here? You don't want to kick them out, but you're not talking to them. It's like, but I have nothing to do with you, so why are you here? You don't speak English. But it's like, wow, this is really interesting.
No idea how they got there. They just hung out there the entire time.
I didn't invite any of them.
I didn't invite any of them.
No, I know they went on Tinder and they just said, hey, white guys, Colombia, we're at a party. And then next, you know, there's 40 women at the door. I'm like, is this real life?
Yeah, we got run down by the cops. That was kind of fucked up. They knocked on our door and basically extorted us for money.
But that's where my lawyer friend,
she went and handled business.
She did. You know what it was? I think I'm going to expose a little bit here, but when I met her, I was like, oh, you're cool. Like, you're hanging out at the house. And then when the cops tried to extort us that night, I was like, oh, yeah, we're in Colombia. The fucking cops are running down us. We are wilding out. It's 3 a.m. There's no roof on the building, and we're blasting EDM music throughout the whole fucking night. And then she's like, baby. Hold on. And I'm like,
here's this accent thing I was talking about earlier.
But she did say that. She did say that. Baby. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yo. She took care of it.
Sure did, yeah.
She took care of it. And I was like, okay, you're cool. Like, you're not here to take advantage. Because, I did feel like in Colombia, I didn't know if we were going to take advantage of or not. We're white tourists. Like, they want to spend, spend some money, but, you don't know who's trying to take advantage. And I think at that moment, I wouldn't call it an affair, but I was like, I was highly intrigued. with her. One, she spoke English.
Right.
And two,
we fell in love, bro.
Oh, honestly, it's probably the drugs. Like, it's probably the drugs.
That might have something.
Yeah. I mean, taking
anybody listening, I don't partake in any illicit substances.
No, sometimes I wish you would with me. Like, I think it would be such a fucking amazing experience. But
I mean, look, the things that are okay, of course. Like, we can talk about Amsterdam.
Amsterdam was good.
Some of the things that we did there.
What was your favorite part of Amsterdam?
It's really, really difficult. That's super difficult. I don't know, man. It's hard to pick one thing. I think I liked being able to walk around with everybody. I liked doing the thing where we would walk to one bar, take a shot, walk to another bar, take a shot, walk to another bar, take a shot. That was a blast.
That was a good time.
I got to see everybody, meet a whole bunch of people. But I will say, like, out of all the places that I've been, Amsterdam isn't, like, there isn't as much to do there. Don't get me wrong. Everybody goes to, like, see, like, see the red light district and to eat mushrooms legally and to go on, X, Y, and Z. But the food I thought was awful.
Food was fucking trash.
It was a beautiful place. It's a very interesting city. The red light district is insane to actually see how that all works. But I don't know if I'd really go back there. I had fun, but my favorite thing, I don't know. The thing that sticks out to me the most was the day we ate the mushrooms and went to what's it called, a maze.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I lost my shit.
And I got to be the one that always tries to keep it together. I'm always the one that tries to keep it together.
You are dad on. I feel like I'm like
I got to lead the kids. I'm the chaperone on the fucking school trip.
Do you look at me like sometimes like the bastard stepped out of the trip?
I definitely have to look out for you.
Is it that bad?
This man, we went to dinner after eating the mushrooms, and this man decided, I don't know, halfway through to eat a whole handful more, and that's not a lot. That's a whole bunch that you ate.
I know.
And it's hitting you even harder. We're sitting down in a public small restaurant because houses in Amsterdam are very small.
Very.
And we're starting to eat, and Jay sees a loaf of bread. The loaf of bread comes out. And that's what did it for you. You thought it was the funniest thing.
I know.
Loaf of bread made you cry, stream tears, and Sean has a video of you crying, laughing over bread. You were just so happy for bread. It was bizarre. And I'm sitting there like, you
were gonna kill me.
Oh my God. It's like, Jay, get it the fuck together, dude. But this is all the time. So I'm used to making you.
Wait, real quick. I know you're not gonna partake, but do you mind?
By all means.
Yeah, dude, you see the pond? Gengar. Huge fan, dude. Yeah. Fucking ghost Pokemon. His weed will fucking turn me into a ghost by the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I took a little break. I don't smoke weed anymore. It's been several years since I did. I felt it made me, lethargic and just uninspired. But you are one of the only people I know that could like hit it and be the completely opposite.
Yeah. I talked to Spanish about that.
Shout out to you, bro. Because I can't do that.
You know what? It's such a creative outlet. And I never got the dullness from it. We smoked, years ago, we smoked all the time. And, I used to think it was kind of weird, but I was telling Spanish on one of our episodes, he's like, how the fuck do you smoke so much weed? I'm like, my back pain, like when I fucked up my back.
Fair.
And I was like, I don't get high. I literally just takes away like that pulsation in my back. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, calm. So when somebody's stoned, they're actually getting the full effect of the weed. I'm getting just enough of the weed to take the edge off and the pain away to like kind of focus again. You know what I mean? It's like
look, I get why people smoke and partake. I just can't anymore. It's just not for me. It just doesn't,
from time to time.
I just grew out of it. You know what I mean? I grew out of a lot of things. So
we both did. We both did.
For sure.
Do you feel like the growth was good?
Absolutely. 100%. And I think some of the not so bright spots as you're going through growth are necessary to get to a higher level, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
For sure.
I remember when we recorded the first podcast, I actually had to take a minute after we were done, after you left, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was like, how the fuck did I blow $400K? I really had to sit there and think to myself, like, what kind of dumbass?
Well, let's give some background. So,
yeah, there's some context.
How did Jay just get to this $400,000 figure, $300,000 figure, whatever it was that we talked about? And it's kind of just, we're thinking about all the times from being slightly underage until we decided to not party anymore.
Like pack it up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, like, so you could estimate, let's say, from the ages of 20 to, let's say,
30.
20, well, yeah, 27, 28.
When you threw me my 30th birthday at the Moose,
Well, you're 2 years older than me, right?
but I started partying around 20, so it was a
So it's a solid decade, right? So we're just kind of extrapolating a little bit. Let's think, how much did we really spend? So how often did we go out? Well, if we went out once a week when we were younger, we spent 150 one night, 150 another night. That's 300 in a weekend. Multiply that by 50. You know what I mean? So add that up, extrapolate that over the years, and we got to this figure of like, over this time we spent an absurd amount of money, which we shouldn't. It's stupid.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, it's sickening, honestly. But again, you know, what we got out of that was a lot of great memories, a lot of great things to look back on. But at the same time, you look at all the people that have come and gone, and you realize that they weren't real true friends. A lot of these people, they were just around to be around, and these are the acquaintances and the people that don't follow you to your later stages in life where you're more mature and doing bigger things. So, you know, you need to have that to learn that lesson. You need to have to party, have fun, experience the girls at X, Y, and Z to, you know, really appreciate having one good woman, or appreciate putting your money into something else that's worth it, is more fulfilling than going out and partying. But you also see people get stuck in this, continue to do it. I know people that are still doing it, and I know 40-year-olds that still do it, still go out and spend this money. But hey, if that's what makes them happy, I'm not gonna judge. It's just, for me, it doesn't work for me.
No, we had the experience. It was fun. You know, I was with my ex at the time, you know, when we were all out, and I remember I had a different experience. I really didn't give a shit about the girls. It was fun to have them around, but I definitely learned through that whole thing, like instincts. Like, you know, just sitting there talking to people, whether you're like completely aware, if you're dry, you know, whatever things got you waving that night, talking to people. Like, I thought I had good conversation in the shop because my shop conversation was so good and so sober. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was really in. When I would hear these people talking to Nightlife, I'm like, the fuck are you saying, cuz? But they're so confident in nothing.
It's because the alcohol is giving them the confidence.
And that really was one of the things that kind of turned me off in time about the industry. I was like, I like, and maybe it's not even just the clubs or anything like that. It's like, I feel like,
got a lot of lost souls in nightlife industry, man. And that's just the harsh reality of it. And it's a shame to say, but I can speak on it because I've worked in it since I was 19, you know, and I'm 32 now. So I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've seen all of these type of people come in and out. You got a lot of lost souls in nightlife. A lot of people looking for love, or don't have any social aptitude.
I see a lot of people looking for validation.
They need validation, all these things. And again, like, I'm not sitting there and judging. I was one of those people when I was younger.
Same.
That's all I gave a shit about, you know?
Yeah.
When I first went to school, like when I was 18, I went to college right away. And I was way too immature. I decided to party, you know, all I cared about was drinking and getting the next girl or whatever. And that led to nothing. I had to leave school. I got involved in nightlife. I worked, and then eventually once I grew out of it, I went back to school. You know, and it led me to where I am. But it's just goes to show, you know, back then you don't know where you're going in life, you know. But some people, they continue to not know where they're going. They never find their way, and I feel like they get stuck in this thing where they got to go out. They got to go out. They got to go out. They need that validation. They need to talk to somebody or talk to this girl or X, Y. They're searching for something. Something's missing. That's just the way what I've seen in my own experience, and what I've seen other people do. And I got to see all the darkness of nightlife from working in it. I got to see it all. Like, I see the problems people have and how fucking you know, unstable these people are, and it's just insane, and it's just full of ego and full of fake rich people that blow money to get a girl one night, and they'll blow their whole paycheck and have to borrow money to pay for rent or something like that.
I can't believe that. Like,
people do that shit.
I never got suckered into that.
It's insane, man. But hey, look, all that matters is they're getting the girl that night. That's all that matters.
The goal was met.
That's it.
The goal was met.
And then they'll do it again, and it leads you nowhere, you know? So my advice to people in the nightlife industry, get the fuck out of it as soon as you can. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like to speak in absolutes.
Yeah.
Because there are good people that I've met along the way, but it's just majority have been kind of trash.
Yeah, tell me if you agree with this. I'm going to give this like a 85-15. 85% of the people were almost instantly temporary, and 15% I could say I have really, actual to this day, strong like conversation, like I gotta say his name, but there are a few people out there that I'm like, I really appreciated meeting out there. And I was like, yo, you're a good soul. But it sucked because some of those really good souls were lost in 85% of clowns, false ballers. And it's like,
people get swept up in it, man.
Yeah.
Get swept up in it, and it's easy. It's low-hanging fruit. It's an easy barrier to entry. If you are, again, you're somebody who struggles socially, it's super easy to go slug a bunch of shots before you go out, to get sociable, and then go and meet the person, have fun. And maybe that's like their kind of, the way that they can get in
rest themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It helps them kind of, cope with the rest of life. And it's scary because people get caught in that trap and then become alcoholics and do all these other things. And these are extreme cases, but regardless, the point remains, man. It's just, I've seen it a lot, and it just doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's a good way to make easy money. It's a low barrier to entry. I'll speak on kind of my positions, back in during my time in nightlife. Like being a VIP host, you have all this fake power. And of course, when I was younger...
When you say fake power...
It's power that's not real. It's power that is isolated to one small area that nobody really gives a shit about and really means nothing to the world except for you and those people, these kind of degenerate type of people that are coming to support the establishment. They're just...
You ever watch Night at the Roxbury? Of course. Remember that? It's like, yeah,
of course.
Do you feel like you see like Doug and Steve at the club every weekend?
At the time, yeah. You got the same people that come out and do the same shit, and they just, I don't know what they're doing outside of it. But at the same time, again, there are outliers. There are people that are doing great that still come out, and I'm wondering what their crutch is.
Why are they still there?
Yeah. But and again, I always deduce that I think that they're looking for love, or they're looking for the one, or they're whatever, and that's typically the case. They're just easy. You can easily figure these people out.
What do you think about this though? Because I can remember since I was, I don't know, maybe high school, maybe it was kind of like, oh, like alcohol was always involved when you're in a party, and you're always just like, that's hookup culture. Like you go to these places to do so. Like I realized when I was,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but in my mind, like every time I went to the club, like I was really appreciative of the attention that a short dude got. You know what I mean? Like that was always cool, but it was like when I saw the motives behind it, when people started doing research, like, oh yeah, he does this or he does that. I'm like, why do you need to know that to talk to me? And I saw that it was a very superficial way for people. I don't want to say to take advantage, but to find their steps. Like, yo, I want that. I want a piece of that. How can I get in with that? And it's almost like I see these people all the time. They're doing research and stalking other people just to get into a clique that they have no clue what the fuck's going on.
You see what you're saying? We're talking about people putting time and effort into something that doesn't mean anything. It's like people actually spend
But it does. You got to think. I remember when it did mean something to me. When we were young. We were young.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is people still do this even when they should have grown past it. You know what I mean?
30 years old is when I actually was like, and I felt like I had made like a vow to myself when I was younger. It's like, okay, look, have your fun and just like, yo, rock it till 30 and just like know when to call it quits. And when you threw me that 30th party, dude, I remember I had everybody there. Maybe a couple people weren't able to make it, but like, yo, that was such a pinnacle at that night. I remember, do you remember my mom came?
Yeah.
My mom came and we were going to go smoke a cigarette on the front bow. And I was like, man, this fucking party's great. Fucking Mark fucking went nuts with this thing. And she was like, yeah, this is beautiful. And then I remember taking a bag of Coke in my pocket. And I guess I was so fucked up, I didn't really think about this. But I put it on my hand and I'm like, ma, you want any? She looked at me like I had 6 heads. I might have felt like I saw 6 of hers. I was so fucked up. But I remember I was like, no, you don't want any? Oh, okay. I was like, oh. And I remember, yo, I woke up in the morning and I was like, I just skied down Mount Everest right in front of my mom on my 30th birthday. And you know what? That was it. I felt like that was the pinnacle. All my friends were there. And I was like, what more is left? You know, I didn't need any more.
Look, man, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that, like, you can't go out and have some innocent fun here and there. I'm talking about the people that make it their life. There's a big difference. Do I like to go out and get drunk once every couple months? Sure. Of course.
Well, yeah.
But for special occasions, for for weddings, for this, that, whatever. Of course, it's a lot of fun. We know how to have fun, but it's just too much, too taxing. And I also think that going out and partying is a single person's game.
We've talked about this a lot. I definitely, you said that to me one day, and that's what was always tough for me when I went to the club. Like being in a relationship, and this is why I fucking hate the club, really, because maybe I was in the wrong place, but it still made me money. I was trying to build connections. Now, look, in the beginning in the bars, people were coming to the barbershop and getting cut. But I remember when I took the real estate road, everybody in the club does real estate. Yeah, dude, I'm a real estate investor. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, well, let's talk. Are you really about it? Then you give these people a call and they're like, yeah, let me put you in touch with my manager. And I'm like, no. You told me you were that guy. Wasn't that your table? Or that was your dad's card. Gotcha.
I'm glad you kind of said that, because nightlife and what it promotes is all about status, this fake imaginary status that isn't really there. It's like, oh, well, you're buying tables and you're buying bottles and you're putting it on IG and
Wait, real quick.
What?
Did I have better status with a bald head or with hair?
I think I like you better with hair.
Continue.
All right, go. So anyway, so people are trying to show off with buying bottles, big flashy signs, and that's what the nightclubs sell you on. Everybody wants it. They want the attention. They want to look like I'm that guy. And that's what when I was in nightlife, I would sell that. Yo, you're going to be the man, you're going to X, Y, and Z, and they have no problem spending all this money. But they're getting fake love from everybody.
Do you feel, now that you're out of the industry, I almost feel like you could be like an ex-drug dealer. It's kind of like, I used to sell people this thing that was really bad for them, but like we sold them for their monetary value. Do you feel that way sometimes, or hey, business is business?
There's two sides to that. One is like, not every single person that works in nightlife, it's not that it's a bad thing or it's a bad idea. It's as long as you have that balance and you are responsible and you know how to navigate that and keep work separate from your life, and you go to work and you move on. It's a great, easy, quick way to make money. It really is. You can make a ton of money doing it. But it just leads to nothing. So as to answer your question, do I feel like that kind of an ex-drug dealer? Nah, I don't, because at the end of the day, you're selling somebody something they wanted. I provided a good time for people.
It's a good product.
Yeah, but I'm not really talking about those people per se. I mean, it's just sad to me because I see a lot of, let's put it this way. When you could provide somebody something, when I was heavy in nightlife, let's say 2017, 2018, when I was at the end of my run at Noto, when you can provide something for somebody, do something for somebody, everybody's your friend. Everybody is your friend. And it's when you are out of that nobody hits you up no more. Nobody calls you no more, besides like your close, real friends. You're not the man anymore. And I remember there'd be clients that would hit me up all the time. And as soon as they would come in and oh, bro, what's up, man? I love you. Yo, this is my boy, X, Y, and Z. And then they lived in my old apartment building. I'd see him in the hallway. We didn't say anything to each other, not even know what's up. But this was somebody that
really,
yeah. So it's like it's literally shit like that where I'm like, all right, these people are socially odd when there's no alcohol involved, or it's just like they don't give a shit to say what's up anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know.
Do you feel like you can make the judgment between which sometimes, or it's like it's like
no, you can tell. You can tell which people are just kind of just growing, first experiencing all these things. But the point I'm trying to make is like, there's a lot of fake love, and people, you're only popping while you can do something for somebody. And as soon as that kind of fades away, it teaches you a lesson.
So, I feel that. I mean, I know you have your perspective, working at the club and seeing everything in the club.
Right.
I'll take you to my perspective. Like, I have my regrets massively. I have so many things that I could sit here and say I could cry laughing about that we did. But the 3 times we could talk about when we cried laughing doesn't equate to probably the hundreds of times where we're like, yo,
what the fuck?
Like, it's crazy. I'm not going to say any names, but this is one of those moments like that's just fucking amazing. Remember when so-and-so shit in Derek's car?
Oh my fucking God.
Can you, like, you can't make that shit. She's shit in the car.
Oh man.
You can't make that up.
We're going to get some heat for this one.
No, I will. I got it. I'll tell you.
Because I want to talk on it now.
Go ahead.
This had to have happened. I had to have been 21 years old. This girl still denies it to this day. So if you're listening, we know that we
know you did it.
We know you did it. And if you know how I know that she knows she did it? because if you bring it up to her, she gets pissed, like red face.
Oh, super insecure.
Yeah.
It's all over.
So this girl, she gets fucked up. She's fucked up. We go to this after hours bar called Richie's, but that's showing our age.
Oh yeah, South Jersey. Anybody from South Jersey, Richie's. If you were there, I'm judging you. I'm straight judging.
I was there, so yeah. But anyway, we went one night. She was too drunk to come inside. She stayed out in the car. It was a Halloween. It was after a Halloween party or something. So she was like in costume. Anyway, she didn't come inside. She stayed out in Derek's car. We come out later. Derek goes in his car, and there is a human turd in the back seat, on the ground though. Like, so you know how there's the seat and then there's like the floor of the car.
Yeah.
The turd was on the floor of the car. So, and she had come inside. So like,
she probably came inside to wipe her ass.
Right. So here's the thing though. What's a mystery to us is how did she contort her body to shit in between the back seat and like the front seat, you know what I mean? Like, how does she fit her ass in between that to shit cleanly?
Yeah.
You know? And then we're assuming that she wiped with a stocking and threw it in the woods and came inside. But I digress. That shit just doesn't appear. I mean, the evidence is there. But yeah, it's shit like that. I'm sure she is super embarrassed about that.
Oh, yeah. And I think about this to this day because that's always been a mystery. You know, there's still people trying to wonder how the pyramids were built. We're physically trying to figure out how the shit got to that.
One of life's greatest mysteries, who shit. Well, we know who shit in Derek's car, but how she shit so quaintly.
It looked good, by the way. It was like it was healthy.
Impressive shit, I must say.
I'm going to call Derek and be like, yo, dude, before we put this episode out, I need you to get me that picture. Like, it's got to just be like right there.
Yeah, we do have a picture of it.
It wasn't a big shit though. It was
it was a woman's turd.
I'll be honest, when I look at the fiance shit, I don't even think she looks like her.
It's just what I would imagine the size of. I mean, I haven't really. I haven't really done research into the size of a woman's.
Have you gone into this?
I haven't, but I would imagine. What I'm trying to say is, I mean, women are just smaller, so I would imagine it's, you know, whatever. I'm just trying to.
Look, I've been to Philly Eagles tailgates, dude. I can't. I'm sorry. Your argument just this time, I've seen it. I've seen women shit big, dude.
Well, that's
like my Rottweiler shit.
You were at an Eagles tailgate and you saw a woman shit?
Yeah. Like you haven't? You haven't seen him just randomly squat and piss in the middle of the parking lot?
That I've seen. But I don't think I've ever seen somebody shit.
Like, maybe I'm just... Maybe it was all the Adderall back in the day. I focused on fucking everything. Like
weird shit in porta potties, bro.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, when you go skiing in a random parking lot in the middle of the summer, it just doesn't... It gives you a different type of result. You're thinking differently. You're wondering, like, you're looking at shit differently. You're wondering if you put, like, the right amount of money on a parlay. Like, you're kind of a schizo for, like, 6 hours, and then you just massively crash hard. You didn't win the parlay, and next thing you know, you spent $300 on Ubers, didn't get into any of them for any reason, and you found out your bar tab with Chris Anchetta at the bar was over $500.
Nah, if it was Anchetta that was giving us the tab, then it...
No, he actually hooked it up and charged me $500.
Got it.
And
well, that's because you're buying rounds of Patron shots for everybody. That was your thing.
Yeah, I missed it, dude. I missed it, man. But you know what's funny? I want to bring this up because it's like I remember we're always talking ways to like progress and. You know, what new puzzle pieces we're always fucking with. Like, yo, I'm playing with this, and I think this could get me, like, here. I had this, like, fucking odd concept, dude, when I was, like, 17, and I was in Phenomenal's barbershop. I remember nobody wanted me to cut their hair. They're like, the white dude's not cutting my hair. Like, nah, fuck this. So I was only getting, like, a walk in here and there, literally just probably out of pity. And I knew I was going to have to go out and network and get my people. And this was completely accidental, but then it really, like, took off. I remember I was like, you know, I'll buy a round of shots because I just want to have fucking fun. You know, we do it all the time. And next, you know, it just created conversation. This guy just spent money to buy a bunch of shots. And it's like, yeah. And in the beginning, because the tier of finance is a little different than right now. But, you know, $5 a shot, I was charging $20 for a cut. It's like,
it's your marketing.
But I never saw that. It was just kind of like, yo, let's just have some fun here. But then it's like, yo, dude, that's a nice cut. Like, how do you know that guy? How do you know the bouncer? I'm like, I cut his hair. It's like, oh shit, like, you know him? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I cut like half the people in here. And it was just another acquisition. You know, and it was like $5 turned to 20, and now that 5 is now a compounded cut up to 40 over the years. And it's like, it was like a growing stock. And I was like, I couldn't believe that, like, subconsciously that happened. But, or I'm sorry, like in my brain subconsciously, I was like, I want to have fun, and then fun made me money. But, you know, that incident that happened at Xfinity, I remember the only thing that was really wrong about that was that what I thought my uprising was really my downfall in disguise. Like, that character actually couldn't have really continued much further.
It's not sustainable.
No, it was out of control. Fun, fucking hilarious.
But there comes a time where you're like, enough. And that was your wake up call, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, dude, to this day, man, like, I look at all the people that are like still in my life right now, and it's like, you know, we all like kind of went through that. Like, and I love everybody for it, because
you got to tell the listeners what we're talking about.
Oh, when I got jumped at Xfinity, the day I died, that was, that moment. It was pretty fucking nuts. You know, if you listen to the first episode, I kind of tell, you know, somewhat of the story. But, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like everything we did do, like, and I think back, like, so much, every time we have a conversation for, like, our weekly cuts, it's like, damn, like, we're talking about you buying a house now. You know, you've already had previous investments, like, you're rolling. It's like, we're out of the nightlife. It's like, we had a blast. The people that were still in our lives today, it's like, yo, we love you. It's like, you know, it's just the world's not for us. But, you know, this new focus, man, it's been so amazing, man. I know we talk about that, like, with the motivating things and shit, but I actually got high, like, accomplishing things that other people didn't want me to accomplish. I feel like when we talk about the club all the time, that was it. Everybody wants to see you a certain way, and, like, that's what, like, brings you back to the club. But it's like, yo, you go home, you're going down this 1-bedroom apartment, you know, and that one outfit that you wore was all you had, and it's like, you aren't that person. It's great to want to feel it, but I feel like I had to take years of my life to really make the person I wanted to be actually here. You know, we still have fun, we still clown around, but, like, we definitely had to grow up a little bit. Like, that was, like you said, unsustainable, man. We're gonna fucking run into a wall.
Yeah, like I said,
or rehab, one or the other. Or I could have probably ended up in rehab. I'm very happy that, like, it was a phase.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're always able to manage it in moderation. You know, it's just some people don't. And
I couldn't for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
And doing stupid shit, like, you know, the reason, like, when you got jumped in that whole situation, that was over some dumb shit. And I look back on how childish all of, like, the altercations before that led up to those situations. It's so childish. It wasn't needed, and it's fueled by ego, and it's fueled by all that shit.
Yeah. But, yo, we were young. Think about it, though. You know how, and I'm going to bring this up for a quick second, because sometimes I think this person's completely full of shit. You know the dude, Andrew Tate, all over Instagram, that guy? And here's my thing. I got certain things from him that I'm like, yo, he's got some really valid points. One thing I do not like, and I really feel like this is where he preys on, like, the minds of weak guys that probably still go to the club. He's like, yeah, man, get your status up, get your money up, that'll get you bitches. Dude, I'm 5'3". I've been getting bitches since I was chubby. Like, I feel like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
The deception of more of this, like, superficial shit. Like, I could run this one in a circle. You know what I mean?
It's trying to make people think that it's some external thing. It's something, you know, but it really comes from internal. You know, it comes from inside.
It's confidence. I think it's self-confidence.
It's confidence, and I think that dude's a fucking clown. But, you know, you got people that worship him because he says shit that resonates with them, and I think it shows kind of a weak mind to people that it really, like.
I have an odd conspiracy about this, and I could be completely out of pocket for this. Hold on. I think any dude with a big dick doesn't have that problem.
Well, that's one way to look at it, but I mean, yeah.
I'm serious. If you can have a woman satisfied, I think that is a massive confidence boost.
For sure.
If you can't physically, I'm not saying you can't physically satisfy a woman if you got a small dick, but I'm saying in a retrospect, like, some of these guys may have not gotten that satisfaction. And sometimes that when they say, yo, money, get your money up. Fuck these women. You need money. You need status. It's like,
they've never pleased. It's what you're getting as you're saying. They're probably never pleased.
Well, their goal is still, like, you hear this all the time. Like, what are you going to the club for? You're looking for the opposite partner, you know, to try to, like, mingle with. Like, what's a dude getting his shit up for? Why is he buying nice clothes? Why is he buying a car? Like, look, I loved all my fast cars, but, like, don't get me wrong, I like being, like, seen in them. Like, there is the vanity to it. Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like, that whole misdirection thing. I was actually fucking with the guy for a little bit. He had some really interesting things to say about relationships. some of that shit I was kind of fucking with.
He's just full. It's just a facade. He's sitting there trafficking people. Like, it's insane, bro. Like, I mean, come on. Social media is social media for a reason, because it's not real.
I feel like you're like probably one of the most understanding people of like how I think. A lot of people still think like I'm a little bit of a nutbag.
No, I know. Let me make it clear. I absolutely think that you're a nutbag.
Okay.
Yeah.
But go on. I do appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
But you understand where I come from sometimes. Like there is such like a deeper intention. But I want to ask you, because I know we got a short time today. I know you got mad shit to take care of with the house, and like I said, congratulations. I'm so happy to hear that. You got to come back. We got to keep this going. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we didn't get a real great chance to talk about the Vegas trip.
Oh my God! Here's the thing. We're gonna need a million different episodes to talk about all specific memories that we've had.
We got time.
I mean, look, there's a lot of funny shit that we could talk through, scenarios. We could, play those things out again. But
one thing, and I still to this day want to know where she's at.
I already know.
Yep, you know where I'm. Dottie, the sex doll,
fucking blow-up doll.
Yeah,
and we can get a picture of Jay sleeping with this.
Yeah,
this thing.
I remember my ex thought I was cheating on her, and I was like, yo, I got her right here. Her name is Dottie. And you know what? The first woman in my life, shorter than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, looks like you two got along great. You actually fell asleep with her multiple nights, but hey.
I was lonely. I was drunk in Las Vegas and lonely, and I had the doll. I
should have listened to more Andrew Tate, bro. Maybe we would have got a real bit.
I wasn't trying to pay for it. I'm not in like a thing. I've done that once. It's one of the things that just don't feel good. It doesn't feel like you actually accomplished something. Hey, you got a couple of hours, you could buy what you want. It's like if you could buy your women, I kind of there's no accomplishment.
Yeah, you don't really do anything. It's not really. It's a transaction. It's not like your personality and your charisma pulled the woman. It's just you paid for it.
Yeah,
you didn't work for it. You didn't earn it.
I mean, technically they did, though. If they worked, they got the paycheck. They earned it, right?
I mean, I guess so. But if you inherited money or you put, you did it from bootstrapping your way to the top, which one are you more impressed with?
Definitely more impressed with the bootstraps. Right. But don't get me wrong. I do know a couple cats that I got to give a little bit of props to, because even though they were gifted with the money, some of them, I see them take complete advantage. Like they're just using up people's money, credit card, all this crap. Then I do see some other guys where I'm like, okay, their pops hooked them up with a business, but you had their asses in there every day. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, I can give you guys that. They're not arrogant. Like, they're very tamed.
If I was in their position, I would do the same thing. So no hate there. It just means more if you start from.
Well, look, before we cut out of here, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Mark, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, football.
Why'd you take more mushrooms?
Football. Fucking insane. Take care, guys. Peace.